Hey, hey, hey.
Thursday, not
I was
Wednesday. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday, y'all. Welcome to we're gonna call it the election break podcast today. And yeah, welcome to Thursday. We appreciate for anyone that's gonna join in, whether now or a little bit later. We know that there is quite the game going on, and my puppy too. Um, Not quite the game because it's kind of a blowout, but
Which
it
we
is
already knew.
Thursday. Oh, we already knew. I mean, they did good with the first quarter. Seemed like they actually maybe had a chance, but that's just the first quarter. So you know
That was
how
a
that
play I was
goes.
describing how it was close to being a touchdown, but he didn't do the right thing and fumbled the
Yeah,
ball. So it's an incomplete pass, and they never got
they
traction
never
back.
got back after that.
Never came back. And we didn't expect them to, though. We really didn't.
You
So
really can't. Really can't.
yeah, there's no coming back from
So you
those.
guys get just Mo and I tonight because we're taking a little R&R ourselves. Yesterday we had a little mental health break. Um, and FYI, we do live in Nevada, and no, we can't count ballots. So we'll just leave it at that for anyone that tunes in to us outside of Nevada. Um, yeah, it's quite the week. And I assume that it's going to be this way for the next couple of days.
It could be even up to next week. You never know.
Well, yeah,
It's
I think that's
2020. I mean, everybody, are we not surprised at all the anomalies that are happening in 2020? Like, we can't be surprised. We've been thrown a curveball. We're in this pandemic. We're watching NBL teams in a bubble. We're seeing players get. I mean, are we not jaded by now of situations happening in 2020? Are we still being surprised about situations happening in 2020?
I don't think we can be. I mean,
You
it's
shouldn't
really
be, but I feel like people are. Like, you really shouldn't be. Like, it's
well.
2020, and that's what I'm charging it to. Like, it's 2020. What do we
Right.
expect?
Well, people
And
don't
that's just
realize
actually
too is
happening.
that I don't know what everybody else's process was, but it appears that here in Nevada, like I had a mail-in ballot. I dropped it at a polling location. Apparently, the state of Nevada did not even count those dropped ballots because I voted early and dropped mine in the box inside of a polling location. Apparently, they didn't count those when they were dropped. They waited until the end of the election on Tuesday to start counting those mail-in ballots, even for those that were dropped on a polling site location. So none of us had those counted until starting now. And so when I checked mine, it still wasn't counted. It was received, but not counted.
Yeah, same here. And so I got word, though, that we're supposed to have the results for 55,000 ballots tomorrow.
Oh,
So hopefully, Mr. Wade, you're right, because I have to give him props because he's been down there
yeah.
being a watchdog, making
You
sure
counting or
everything
no?
is accurate. He's
Oh,
not counting. He's just kind of a watchdog. And to be clear, it's not one partisan that's in there doing the counting. It's both parties, both representatives of both parties doing the actual counting. So
gotcha.
there's no cheating. There's no, you know what I mean? Their biggest takeaway is the accuracy of it all. And if anybody listened to the live press conference today, it was also mentioned that you also have the postmark ballots that were postmarked for the 3rd that have not fully been received. And that count can take all the way up till November 12th. November 12th is the actual deadline that you have to stop counting ballots. And we're only in the 4th. So we have 8 more days. You know what I
You
mean?
guys have a
So
while.
we have a while. So just sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink. I'm drinking water tonight. I'm trying to stay healthy.
I got lemonade.
And tune in to Girl Chat Sports because we have
Yeah.
quite a bit to talk about. So
Well, and the other thing they forget about too is that never before in history has our baby little 6 delegates or electorals ever really been needed. I mean, by the time it's gone to electing a president, usually our little 6 aren't even a factor.
they're
But
not.
somehow this year, 2020,
Well, it's just the returns are rolling everywhere. It's just this
yeah,
process of mail-in ballots. I mean, that's good. Put Nevada on the map. We need the
make me
recognition.
happy.
We need to probably have the
And
cape
they
on to
are
save the
taking
day.
every second of it too. Did you?
They are, and let them take their time because we don't want to recount. We don't want to have to go back and be like, oh, everybody has to vote again, which that would never happen. But just to
Right.
have it, be this, that's fine. It makes us popular right now.
It makes it all worthwhile.
It does.
I mean, and so here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I'm just trying to share a little bit for
Shout
those
out to
that are.
everybody that's tapped in the chat.
Yeah, shout
It
out
may
to
be
Nate.
late.
And make sure you guys check out Hood Hobby 206 on YouTube. We Girl Chat Sports. won a Cleveland Cavalier rookie figurine. Did I put that on last week's episode? I can't remember.
I
But
don't
we
think
did.
you did.
And there was another great giveaway today too. It was like a Fleer deck of like 1990 basketball cards. So there was
Oh,
a
from Fleer. Okay,
I believe
I
it was
bet.
Fleer. Yeah. So it was pretty cool stuff that Nate's doing there. But yeah, so it's Thursday. Thursday night football's on. I did make a parlay on this game, so I'm steadily watching the the over under because I hit under. I didn't think that the Niners were going to score much at all, so I'm hoping it stays under 48. And of course, I picked the Packers. So let's all little fingers crossed for me to win my first parlay in I don't know how many weeks because I haven't been betting, but putting some effort forward. You know what it is?
I haven't done anything but the pick'ems, and
How did it
looks
go
like
this
I'm
last
trending.
week?
I didn't win this last week. You talk about the work one or the men's
Yeah,
one?
the
Because I
work
got
one.
the work one. I did not win. We had a newbie that jumped on the scene first time out the gate that actually
What?
won. Yeah, and it came down to the final score of the Monday game with the Giants. So it just was one of those things where you thought that they were going to score. It was going to be a low scoring game, and it was Tampa Bay, and you thought they were going to. I don't know. It didn't. Came down to the wire of points. Everybody had picked Tampa Bay to win. We knew Tampa Bay was going to win. We knew that. It was very close that they weren't going to possibly win, but they did win. We knew they were going to win. It just was between that 48, 44. I think I had picked 56 because I just thought they were just going to run away with
Do
it.
something.
Crazy number. Yeah. Total score. And it ended up being a total score of 48. And this gentleman got 44 or 43. I'm sorry.
And can we talk about that game real quick? Because the Giants had the Bucks in their hand. Like they played a great game. I don't know what team this Giants team came from, but all of a sudden they were able to play against a pretty good Tampa Bay.
But that's the Giants. They always do that. Remember the incident with the black cat?
But they hadn't done it all year long.
They hadn't, but on a Monday night football game, they always come close to the needle. Like last season, they had a Monday night football game. Black cat interfered. They didn't win the game. It's the same. Right. That black cat curse is still going on.
Right.
Because it's on a Monday night game where the Giants play and they don't end up winning. But they end up having a stellar game, but they just don't close it out.
At all.
We've seen this trend. You just gotta keep up with the trends. That's what they do on a Monday night football game.
And if it wasn't, and then of course it comes down to the wire. David, what's his name? I forget. I always want to call him David Jones, the quarterback.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Yeah, I don't know why I always say David. Gets down to the wire. He's going in there, and they go for a 2-point conversion to tie it, and of course the Bucks stop him. Meanwhile, Tom Brady is hot on the whole game. He's hot, throwing helmets, hitting helmets, like just upset. He's getting sacked. New York had his number. I was really impressed. I was rooting for all my Giant fan friends out there because I'm all for a Tampa Bay loss because they are in the NFC.
I get that. I just knew that they weren't because it's the Giants, sadly. And on Monday nights, they don't cover.
I don't know. I'm just like, man, of all the days,
it's a good game though. But yeah. Monday nights they aren't their bag. We've seen this last year.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick shout out to Patrick Mahomes, though. I really give it up to Patrick because he took it upon himself and worked with Arrowhead Stadium and split the cost to have the Arrowhead Stadium be a polling location for voting this year, which is amazing. I don't think too many stadiums out there did it. I know some arenas were going to do it, but for him to go out of pocket for himself, for the community, for the vote, because he knew how important this election was, and for being so young too. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he's got that new contract. He's got tons of bread.
He's got spending money.
It's a drop. It's got spending money. And what else to do a big give back as that? Because once you give, you always get. So that's a good give back for him.
I'm with it.
Can't be mad at that. Cannot be mad at that.
So in tonight's game, though, of course, here's the deal. My Seahawks played the Niners this weekend. We won. Of course, we heard all of the Niners' excuses about having 11 guys on IR and not having a team. And
now COVID.
Well, COVID broke out. Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and Deebo Samuel. That's a big one. So is Trent Williams for them. I know Ayuk had even a touchdown for him on our game, but that, it is major. But every team has big injuries this year. It's not just you. Granted, your quarterback is made out of glass this year, and that's unfortunate. But we won fair and square. Granted, it was a little close at times. I was a little stressed here and there, as usual. But the fourth quarter, our defense lagged some, which made that happen. We still won by 10. DK, can we just talk about DK? The man is.
You talk about him every week. Go for it.
I know. But first we had, of course, the running to go get Buda Baker, which will now be a meme forever. That is being turned into every meme for every scenario, including the election, which is hilarious. But it's also funny because he also caught and had like a 46-yard touchdown where he literally caught it ball, crossed the field, and literally put on his turbo, hit the turbo button, and flew past the defenders for touchdown. He was actually mic'd for that game too, which was pretty funny to listen to the mic'd versions of what he was saying to those guys, because he's like, you better just go for my legs. You better go low. You better hit low. It was just good. He's going to be, and he's only 22. Like how?
He's a little guy, but he's got speed. He's ridiculous.
He's a big guy and he's got a lot of speed.
Well, DK, yes. DK looks like a grown person. I thought he looks like a grown man for sure to be 22. And what is he, 270 or something with his height?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's incredible.
I can't get enough of it. And it was interesting because you can see how it went from being a Tyler Lockett game the weekend before all the way to DK having a game last weekend. So we'll see what happens with Buffalo because they're not always the greatest at covering the long ball. And Russell, he'll throw that long ball every play he can if he wants to. So it should be interesting to see the outlook, especially fantasy-wise, next weekend against Buffalo, if it's going to be a big DK day, if it's going to be a big Tyler Lockett day, or maybe it's a combination of both.
I got Buffalo on my defense, so I don't think their defense is going to be able to match up with the offense of Seattle, but you never know. When we do our picks, I'll tell you which team I'm picking in between that game, though.
Okay, we'll get to it for sure. And the other thing too is even we've been short on running backs as we were last year. We still have, I think Carson may come back this weekend. I'm not sure. Carlos Hyde is still out, I believe. DJ Dallas came in last weekend and did a phenomenal job for a rookie. He had a touchdown. He had 41 yards. I mean, you can't really ask much more for a kid to step up and do a great job in a big game and big divisional game too at that. So I was happy for that. And Russell Wilson has 26 passing touchdowns. He's only like the second player ever to do that. And that's, of course, behind the GOAT, Tom Brady, who had 27 in the first 7 games of the year, which I think was like 2007 or something like that. So Russell is going to be MVP. Let's just leave it at that. It's about time. No one else can stop that right now. No one else can.
It's about time. It's about time. It's long overdue.
He should have all the votes. It should be it's all unanimous decision. I mean,
I don't know. They may have a Pat Mahomes again as a contender on that. I don't know, but you got to give Russell his flowers for coming back in clutch situations that he does, and being a phenomenal player and never giving up. Like the guy doesn't give up. So yeah.
It was good. It was good. It was really good. Unfortunately, of course, we all know that in that game, Jimmy G went down. He's going to be out, possibly surgery. George Kittle went out. He's out
for 8 weeks. Mm-hmm.
So the Niners are going through it, and this may not be their year either. So hope those Super Bowl memories.
I never saw them coming back this season anyway for Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
Well, I quite didn't either, but. So.
I mean, this just confirms my. It wasn't that type of suspicion that would lead to my things.
Live in studio.
Yeah, right. Mo Stradamus, not Quan Stradamus. Shout out to Quan. Mo Stradamus. But I never would have suspected them coming back anyway, let alone not it be due to injuries. I just didn't think they were just ready for it.
Right. Well, shout out to Quan too, because he has a mysterious tweet or a mysterious post that went MIA during the game because Quan Stradamus thought the Niners were going to win Seattle's game. And lo and behold, I go to look for that same post just to comment on it, and it's no longer there.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
I mean, if you got to delete posts, you got to delete posts.
Some guys, I mean, you got to delete posts. Sometimes you prematurely shoot your shot too soon, and then, that's what happens. But at least you lucky to delete it. Yeah, you did premature. Shoot your, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, it's always detrimental when that happens. I'm telling you.
It's always
And it's not sad.
something.
It's even sadder for you, but it's sadder for the opposite team, bro. So trust me, that's
Yeah,
never a good look. So at least he was
for
able to
sure.
delete it. I never caught it, so because I don't ever get on there enough to see what he had going on. But I'm sure he was about to do a Quanstradamus post. He should have deleted it. I was following. Hey, Quan, if you're out there listening, I was following you all through Lakers Quanstradamus. Hey, your Quanstradamus predictions for Lakers and Dodgers is
On
all
point.
good.
On
You know,
point. Maybe.
you had everything and then some on that. But when it came to your 49ers, you should already know better, bro. You're not picking, you're picking with your heart and not with your brain. And you know good and well, me being a Raiders fan, I pick as best as I can with this pick'ems and fantasy that you got to be smarter and not go with your heart so much.
You know what happens. I mean,
Yeah. And my Raiders had a win too. So big ups to that. You know, people thought we couldn't come to Cleveland and do work. And what people don't understand is Raiders have a history of always beating Cleveland in Cleveland. The last matchup we had with them was some years back, and we beat them in the. We've had historical games in the snow against Cleveland in the early '80s, and was able to beat them. I mean, so whenever we visit that town, we're coming and we're coming with the win. And
and
so,
you guys, and I bet Cleveland only because they are my second team still. Of course,
I
I
mean,
was
go
really,
for it. That's fine, Mel.
but
That
yeah,
is
and then
totally
it
fine.
was
But
to
I
try.
knew
Yeah,
that was just not, that wasn't going to be the move for them. It just, and especially with us coming off of a loss that we had, and then we lost Trent Brown, and we got drama with that. And Trent Brown finally got out of the hospital, and he's made a statement about how he's feeling. We don't know if we're expecting him this upcoming game. We have another away game we're going to. So I don't
where
know.
you guys
Like,
headed this week?
uh,
You guys in New
I know
Orleans?
our
No.
no, our
Wait.
next home game is against Denver Broncos. That's not till the 12th. So
Oh,
we're away, and I think we're playing the Chargers again.
oh, I think I have the schedule right
You
here.
have
Where
the
are you
schedule,
playing?
right? We're doing the pickums. I didn't even look to see.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you
reminder for
got
all,
Chargers. The
yeah,
Chargers.
Chargers. That's what I thought. And reminder to all the Raider fans out here: if you haven't done so yet, download that Raiders app. It coincides with the Allegiant app. They've got great things on there. The app is also detailing upcoming schedules. UNLV's football schedule. They lost to Reno, by the way, this past weekend. But I'm sure it was a good epic moment to see the battle of the North and South in Allegiant. But anyway, they have food options on there. So they have these game day prefix menus where you can go to Allegiant, pick up your food. It's from $50 to $200. So the $50 menu is 4 hot dogs, some chips, some drinks, and you get a commemorative little memorabilia thing from Raiders. Then the $100 package is a mixture of burgers, hot dogs, the drinks, and then the 200 you get the candy, you get X amount of hot dogs, X amount of burgers. So it's these game day party packs, and they've been selling out every week.
And what do
And
you
you have
do
to put
once you go get them? Like, you take them
Well,
back home?
I don't think you can take them all the way back home because if they're hot, you can't, by the time you get home, they're cold. So I'm assuming it's for those that are tailgating because they did open up the parking lot for people to do the tailgating stuff. But
Oh, that's
you can do, like I said, you have to pre-order those game day packs too, because on game day, they're pretty much gone.
huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it's on the Allegiant app with the Raiders app, and yeah, download it. Free download, don't cost nothing, but it keeps you current. Live press conferences come up on there, notifications. It's a cool look, and we will be beating the Bolts this coming Sunday.
Yeah, because they're
Heather.
not having
No,
any kind of luck.
even if they were, we're gonna beat them. Sorry, Heather. I have to just put you on blast because you didn't like my little story post about us calling, saying we were gonna get in that behind now. We're on a roll. Now our schedule has gotten a little bit lighter now. We're now going into divisional games with teams that are ranked third and fourth in the AFC West. So Chargers this week, Denver next week. I mean, it's a cakewalk as till we get to our last season games with we repeat playing Kansas City Chiefs and that kind of thing. But for right now, we're at a good stretch where we can not only we can have some wins. I predict 2 wins these next 2 weeks coming up. So that'll be good.
I'm not sure who this is, but someone said, "Sup, ladies, I still have the girl chat sports in my Uber."
Oh yeah, there was a guy. So I did an Uber ride one night. Oh, that's dope. I did an Uber ride one evening, and I told a guy that I had a podcast. We were talking sports,
Uh-huh.
just get in there and chat. And I gave him I gave him a sticker or a magnet
Uh-huh.
to put in his car. And I told him to follow us and that kind of thing. And
Oh, I love
he's
it.
tapping in. And this was a
Thank
while
you to
ago.
the
This is a
YouTube
few weeks.
driver.
This is a
Yes.
YouTube. It's right. Because we got to do that. So we need people to tell your friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love to have our numbers up. Follow us on all social medias. And you just never know. We've got people.
You
The
said it's
bald guy.
bald guy.
Yeah,
You gave him 2 magnets.
2 magnets. That's right. I remember. Thank you so much. If I could give you 10 stars right now, I'd give you 10 stars. You guys,
Right?
if you find him on your Uber rides, if you need to get safely somewhere, give this man his flowers and his stars, because that was really dope of him to tap in with us. So thank you.
I love it.
That's so
Speaking
sweet.
of some stickers and magnets, I actually got some new like vinyl ones that you can stick on windows, the inside of your car, the outside of your car, other places, or maybe magnets or stickers. Maybe if you want it to be temporary, because you're supporting us temporarily, which you shouldn't be. It should be full time. Feel free to hit us up for one of those as well. I'll post those later on. Oh, and while we're taking a quick break from football, look what I picked up.
Oh, you got both your cutouts.
Shout out to our
life. So happy. They gave you. Oh my God! I didn't know you did one with the cape too. I thought you just had the one with the jersey.
I will see. I had sent them both, but I only paid for one. I sent both in just because I wasn't sure which would look better, and they ended up making both.
Very cool.
And I got to keep both. So
that's
good. Be in my cutout collection along with my Mariners ones that I'm going to pick up from Mom. And I did place an order for a Huskies one, which unfortunately the Huskies won't be playing this weekend because Cal has a COVID outbreak and they don't have enough scholars or what's the word I'm looking for? Not scholarship. What's the guys they give they pay for them? Those they don't have enough players to play the game Sunday. And not only is it not going to be, rescheduled, and not only is it going to be a forfeit, it's going to be a no contest, and we're not going to win.
Wow.
Sucks.
That does.
Yeah. It's
a shame.
Oh, the YouTube driver's name is Rick. He's glad he
Rick, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rick. Yes, pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Alex,
thank you so much.
Yes.
Alex, thank you. Danetta, thank you.
Yes.
Miss Ball and D. We have to get her on. That's the one
I
you
told
said
her
that we need.
We were thinking like Thanksgiving, but I think I might not be here. So I thought we would have a break that week. And I think we'll have to reschedule with her. So Miss Balandi, let's work out another time possibly for us to get you on, because I enjoy her show too. She had some of the women's football players on. The local Las Vegas local football players on their day. So that was cool. A little bit back to football though, and talking about those Chargers. Can we take a quick second to still appreciate Justin Herbert? This rookie is really doing some things. And not only did he have another 3 touchdowns, I think this last Sunday, but he's only the second rookie to have 4 consecutive games with at least 3 touchdowns. The last one was Deshaun Watson.
Who cares? It's the Bolts. You think a Raider fan is going to care what Justin Herbert's doing?
I'm just saying he's
to be
great.
unbiased, I'll say yes, he's nice. But I don't care. I do not care. I don't want them to advance any further that they have to. We are coming to LA. That is not even sold out on y'all PSLs, by the way. Neither the Rams. That's a shame. Well, our PSLs are sold out.
PSL are probably high.
I don't even know if they're high like that. I don't even know. I really don't. I should tap in and see. But I'm not gonna carry Justin Herbert. He is nice. He's very cold. That is great. That is monumental. He's Bolts. I'm sorry, nah.
I mean, I get that.
I like him, but I'm not.
But
I'm not about to carry no AFC West and give them their props. I just won't do it.
I just won't do it. I just wish he had a team to play with.
Yeah, like he can come to Raider Nation all day. Like if we don't have, you know what I mean? We don't know what Carr's season's going to look. And on paper, Carr is looking really phenomenal right now. I'm not even about to jinx that because he's doing great. He's actually running with the ball and everything, getting yards for us, and he's throwing better passes to Hunter Renfrow. He's throwing passes to Waller, and he's doing all that great stuff with Aguilar. But I'm just saying, I don't care. But I think Justin Herbert he's good. He's good. Gotcha. I'm not disputing that, but I don't.
Well, and shout out to Daryl, who is on my watch party. He also believes that Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. So I appreciate someone acknowledging me for at least being.
I mean, he's okay. He is all right.
Okay.
But he's a Bolts.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It really is.
Can we talk about the Cowboys?
No, we can't, because I can't stand them either.
But
And the
here's the
thing of it
deal.
is like they're a dumpster fire. I already told you this last week where
I
they need to be.
know.
They're living in a van down by the river.
Down by the river.
No one is paying attention to what is going on. And to me, it is a karmic disaster. Like
But
this basically what they all get. I don't, now don't get me wrong, that doesn't deserve any of the injuries that he's had, the death of his brother, none of that. I'm not saying that. I'm just
right.
saying as a team as a whole, you guys didn't even support the backup quarterback, and when he got
That was the worst.
y'all laughed.
That was the worst.
Y'all laughed at him. That is not cool. That is just
But here's the deal. They had earlier this week discussed bringing up their practice team quarterback to basically bring him onto the team. And now, as of I think today, they put Andy Dalton on the COVID reserve list, but we don't know that he actually tested positive for COVID. So now what you're saying is that you are trying to keep him out, possibly.
So they're going to bring some local work in, that people that showed up at the park.
Cooper Rush.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Who
he is their practice squad quarterback who they're deciding to bring up.
They need to go ahead and put Derwin Davis in too while they're at it. I say put Derwin Davis in, maybe Blue, maybe Jason, maybe anybody else from the Game TV show that needs to go ahead and fill in with that.
I'm wondering if anybody on Tuesday showed up to the stadium in their Dallas Cowboys jersey.
Yes, Snoop sent the memo out. Show up at the local park with your authentic jerseys. I know a few of y'all own the Mitchell & Ness. Go ahead and put that thing on. Get you some Pop Warner pads and let's go.
Exactly.
Let's do work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And it's the Cowboys. Like, I don't want to waste any more energy on them. It's just laughable. Like I said, they're living in a van by the river. It's a non-factor at this point. They're not even ranked high in their division for what they've got. And that is a crappy division. And so just take the L this season, guys. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. It's no point of having an NFL pass to watch if you're a diehard Cowboys fan. Just put everything in black. Go in the morning. It's
put
over.
Everything in black.
It's over. Put the black sheet over your banners. It's over for this season. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. And you have to come to realize that sometimes these things happen. And Stephanie, I know this is your team. SO, I know it's your team. Brian, I know it's your team. I'm naming these.
There's a lot of Cowboy
Brent
fans
Wade out there in the East. Brent,
quiet.
I know it's the Cowboys. I mean, they're very quiet right now, and as they should be. As they should be. Don't even mention the Cowboys to me, because I'm just gonna go in. I'm just gonna go in on it. Like I did. Casually. I was nice about it this time tonight. I wasn't amped up to be going on a rant really about it, but I seem I was very kind. But yeah, they can get Derwin Davis and those guys to come. Maybe Blue or Jason. All of them were nice. Malik Wright. You get Malik Wright. Hey, you get Malik Wright. That's a new quarterback. You get Malik Wright in. His mom, Tasha, can make it work. All you got to do is call Jerry. You get Malik Wright in there. And hey, he could do good things.
Thanks to everybody that's tuning in and checking us out.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Sean. Yeah, thank you.
Funny, Chris from KMPR, when we went over there, he said he put the GIF. Remember when he used to do the van down by the river on Saturday Night Live?
He put a GIF of it. It is. It is basically what it is.
In a van down by
the river. Literally. That is what it is. And they know this. Bring them some food, bring them some snacks, go over there and feed the ducks while they're there. Man. Do whatever you got to do. But they're not leaving that river no time soon this season. I'm sad to say. A really Hail Mary miracle will have to come. And because it's 2020, you have that excuse. Because I'll let y'all run with that. Be like, hey, it's 2020. It's just a disaster. Hey, I'll let you guys have that.
And the dumpster fire of the Eagles playing the Cowboys was like, I didn't even see it. I watched for literally 5 minutes, and I was like, what else can I find? And for me, not watching a football game was like, what? It's got.
I didn't watch it. It wasn't that serious. No, it's not. No Cowboy game is really that serious to watch. I mean,
well, and here's the deal:
them and try to your best on the over and unders and keep it moving.
And the fan base can no longer say that they are the divisional leaders anymore.
They're not. I mean, they're not going to be.
I mean, the whole division is just.
I mean, it's a dumpster fire within itself. But yeah, Cowboys.
What do you think about this fight that happened between? Well, I think it was Javon White. No, versus the Bears.
Oh,
versus
you still talking? Yeah.
Was it no?
No, it was Bears and whoever Bears played
It's
last
Wims. I
week.
can't remember who he was. Anyway,
Yeah.
that
Was it
was
this?
so
It
he
was a
kept
Bears
on
and Saints
saying,
game. It was a Bears and
yeah,
Saints
the
game.
Saints.
Yeah, it's a Bears and Saints game.
And
And
the
it
guy
was
kept saying that he was spit on previously, is what White said. He was spit on, and that's what caused him to go and basically uppercut Wims like 2-3 times
I
out
mean
of nowhere.
that's a running meme too right now. You think the Buddha Baker one is one, that one's a meme now too. It's like one of the trendiness memes. I think the fight was on. I mean, my thing is, if you spit on him, what did you do? Take your mouth guard out and just spit on the guy, or how'd that
Well,
happen?
and
And
how to get to you? I mean, because they
exactly.
were
Like
there
I
for
just
that.
don't understand how that happened. And then some of them are wearing the face shields under their helmets. I don't think. I don't know.
Well,
And if it
he
was it
denied
intentional?
doing it, but
Yeah.
Javon White did get suspended 2 games for it. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Well.
must have thought it was coming. But whatever, is it okay? When do you think something has to really get to me before I'm going to lose 2 games and 2 weeks of my pay?
Well, spitting on does justify the fight
Correct.
if that
But if
happened,
if
because
it happened,
if it happened, but if it didn't, and it was just a speculative thing. I can't talk right now. Speculative thing, and a thing that you assumed maybe. Heck, it could have been the water boy or whatever, the cooler or something. Some ice flew over. I don't know, but you get.
yeah.
It's a normal reaction of being spit on. I get that, but did it really happen? Is what I want to know. Especially when you're protected with the mouth guard and all that, and to spit on someone in this era with COVID. I mean,
Right.
you're really gonna
I would go for
you're
that.
gonna see red. You're literally gonna see
But here's
red.
the deal. If
So
you
I don't
spit on
know.
me, it's happening right now. If you spit on me, I'm firing at you right now. Like, I'm not going to wait till the next play or two to then go and get you when your back's turned to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, unless he was in a state of shock and couldn't believe it was happening and it just was running through his mind. I don't know. The delayed reaction. I don't know. I feel like it'd be an instant reaction to your point, but
yeah.
I don't know what that was all about. But he's 2 games suspended. He's possibly getting fined. So, man, 2020 is a wild thing.
All right. So,
Spit on Bill Romanowski. I remember that.
Rick mentioned, yeah, it was
Yeah,
back in the 90s.
yeah. I remember that. That's
Exactly. Someone
serious.
spit on me. That's a fate on site. But isn't it immediate? Isn't it like an immediate?
Of course it is. I mean,
Right. So it just
of
seemed
course
odd
it
that it
is.
was like a couple of plays later, and then
That's
he
why I
went and hit
said
him.
you, unless he just was in shock, and I don't think he was to analyze something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said, "I'm not that old to remember that." Actually, I am kind of old, but what it is
You
they
just
do memorable highlights on ESPN. They do these memorable highlights, and so I
the
found it
early
off of the
90s
top.
is not too long
Yeah,
ago,
I mean, I
but I
graduated
remember.
early '90s from high
I
school,
was more
Rick,
into
if you must know.
basketball in the early 90s, but hey.
I have the fountain of youth by my side, Rick. I know it's very deceptive, but I graduated from high school very early '90s, so I do. I was able to recall some things, and then when ESPN, of course, does their top tens of most outrageous things and actions that happened, yeah, that was on the list.
One thing I forgot to bring up when we're talking about the Raiders, they just handed out some fines for the COVID.
Well, they needed to.
Yeah.
They need
So John Gruden gets fined $150,000. The team is fined $500,000 and docked a 2021 sixth-round pick for repeated COVID protocol
Yeah, I mean,
violations.
how hard is it to wear your tracker?
They didn't have their trackers on? Wait, I'm lost.
Yeah, so they have to wear trackers. So when Trent Brown was the one that was the culprit of the COVID, he was not wearing his tracker consistently, from what I understand. And then he ended up getting hospitalized, but he's now out of the hospital. I think it was a separate incident, but it could have been COVID related. We don't know. But he's out of the hospital now. But he was not wearing his tracker consistently to the rules of what he was supposed to do.
Wow.
And speaking of rules, I don't know what happened on the verdict. If anybody wants to chime in as far as Justin Turner and the Dodgers situation, with him having COVID and coming out on the World Series win to take photos, and he was with the team and stuff. I never heard any more else about that. So if anybody knows about that situation, please let me know.
Rick says you have amazing energy.
Oh, thank you. Memory. Yeah, I do have a strong memory. I have friends that tell me that all the time, that I remember stuff like, how do you remember that? But little stuff sometimes I don't. I don't know. I'm Nostradamus. Nostradamus is it's Nostradamus.
In the house.
Yes, with Melly Mel. It's the Nostradamus. Melly Mel.
Hey. If you're
Mhm.
not having fun yet, I don't know what you are. Also a Husky alumni, Dante Pettis, who had, I thought he got injured when we were watching the 49ers game, but he got cut on Tuesday. Well, the Giants picked him up, so I'm excited for him because I'm always rooting for my Huskies, no matter what. And then
Yeah.
Michael Gaskin, who was running back for Miami, who'd been doing great this season, now he's on IR.
Wow. Just keeps getting better and better. And where are we? We're in week 9.
We're only in week 9.
We're only in week 9.
Week 9 and all of this.
We're
I mean,
only in
here's the
week
deal.
9.
It's gotten so bad that my 12-team fantasy league, there's like no running backs left. There's barely any. I mean, it's just running. If you don't already have your 2 or 3 in your flex, you're pretty much SOL.
You are.
But I did win both games last. And that's the craziest thing is that I did win both games. I picked up Joe Burrows for my quarterback because I had Kyler Murray that was on bye week. He had an amazing game last weekend for Cincinnati, so he helped me push me through to another victory for both my leagues.
And guess who's playing you this week?
You?
Yes. It's Russ against the world against cars that go vroom.
Cars that
play
go
on
vroom?
a dark Derek Carr.
And
It's going to be interesting. You're ahead of me in points, but we'll see. And it's very close margin. You're
Yeah.
literally like at 51%, where I'm at like a 48%.
Because I have
So you just never know.
Players are like here and there.
Yeah. And
I did beat Natalie last week though, so I was pretty because we were both tied for first.
Yeah, you guys are doing really well in this league. And this was the first time last week of fantasy that I won all of my leagues except one. The guys won.
Because you have like
I swear to
7 or
God, I'm
10
not
leagues
joining
you're in,
you
too.
anymore on this league. This league sucks. And
Which
my
one?
whole squad sucks. The guys one that you didn't want to step in and do, and I had to replace
shout out
you
to
on.
Pete. Yeah, Pete
This
and
is
Sarah.
I'm the last place with no wins. This is the worst league I'm in for fantasy. This is the absolute worst.
Because they're cutthroat in there too, but they also that one I think it's a different app.
I was so close to winning that game this past week on week 8, that match. And Courtney Ketters, his Ketters got me. And yeah, wait till I see him. I don't even wait till I see him too.
Well, I had a good
I don't know
one.
if I can do it.
My other one, I needed Tom Brady to have a crappy day, and he didn't do great. I mean, he got sacked. He had a couple touchdowns. So all in all, it worked out for me. And I was glad that it wasn't like the GOAT Tom Brady that came out. After his first touchdown to Gronkowski, I thought, oh, crap, here we go. But luckily, I still came out unscathed.
Yeah, you did good. You guys are doing good. And Natalie beat me last week. And she had juggernauts. All my players were injured, and I had no way to waive anybody else or pick up anyone. It was bad.
But if you had Dalvin Cook, let me tell you, 4 touchdowns, your fantasy must have been great because that man went off for the Vikings this past weekend.
He needed to. I mean, it was long overdue. He's been kind of quiet this whole season. His breakout for week 8 was pretty phenomenal.
Right. Oh my gosh. So I was reading up on the jersey swap because I know we haven't really been seeing them because of COVID. And I know back before the season started, they said jersey swaps were out. They weren't going to do them, which I know people I know Richard Sherman tapped in about it, but they were saying, well, how is it that you're okay with us playing on the field, battling for 4 quarters, but then we can't even get close to each other to swap a jersey afterwards, which totally makes sense. Like I get that. I could see if you were in a non-contact sport and trying to do it, but you're in a contact sport playing, and now you're not letting them swap jerseys. Well, apparently now they've come up with a resolution that was back in September, October, where you'd have to go through the equipment manager, and you have to literally give your jersey to the equipment manager and tell them who you want to send to. They have to put it.
Do they quarantine the jersey, or is that out?
I mean, I don't know if you got to. I mean, there was a picture
or anything?
of Josh Jacobs because he was doing a jersey swap over the weekend with somebody. I can't remember who it was, but he was doing a jersey swap, and he had signed it and filled it out, and then had a picture because he was taking the picture to send to whomever. But obviously, you don't have time to wash the jersey. So I don't know if there's the other one. If every team has extra jerseys, they just go ahead, sign one, and put it on there. But usually, it's the one that you play in that you want swapped. So
yeah, exactly. So that's why I was like wondering how that works. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's too much. It's too much. So
it's 2020. We just go with it. We just ride it.
Anybody want to tap in on how bad the Niners are losing right now? Because I'd love to know.
And shout out to me picking on tonight that the Green Bay was going to win. It's going to make Aaron Rodgers look better. and I hope it makes those cheesehead fans feel better a little bit. But for the men that were picking, like Mr. Senior, who's a 49ers fan, why would you go with a team that's living in a van down by the river? And I know it's your team, but why would you pick them with all of the shenanigans and discrepancies and all kinds of anomalies going on with your team? Why would you pick them to win? I'm just curious. Like, I need to know that answer. And I know you're not watching this right now, but maybe I'm gonna have to write you and ask you, like, why? Why'd you pick them? Like, especially when we're picking pick'ems for money. Like, your heart has to go away when it comes to that. And you literally wrote down 49ers. And I said nothing. Because,
Sometimes you have to
Thursday
know
night football are known for
when to not play for
upsets,
your
but this was
team.
clearly not the one. Yeah, sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta know.
Hey, what's up to Sean? So he's tuned in. He did a
Okay.
little caveat, the guy from the wheelchair from the Aces.
Yeah, Sean. Sean the Don.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean. I
And
chat
Rick
with him all
chimed
the time. We
in.
gotta get
We're
him
at
in.
34-10.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah.
But I need the under, so no more scoring.
But see, that's the problem with that, because with a team with Aaron Rodgers on, he's gonna keep. They're gonna score probably
just
again.
start running the ball because you gotta love the clock to run.
They got Devontae Adams. Try to have him run.
But
we know that's Aaron Rodgers against again. That's like might as well be the Jets or the Jets though.
There goes
Jets
that
game,
parlay, huh?
Yeah, that Jets game though. Did you see the Jets game?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect the Jets to win. Did they win this week? It was this week, right?
Did they win?
I think they did. If not, it was last week. It was a week before, but it was a shocking game. Maybe they didn't win, but I don't know.
No, the Jets didn't. When they played Kansas City, I think they were.
Oh, that's right.
They
lost. They lost. It was the week before.
City.
Yeah, they got close. Yeah, I couldn't believe it because that was one of those like.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
I wasn't sure if it was this week or last week. The Jets did an upset or something like that where they won. I can't remember. Don't get me. It's 2020. I got so much stuff on my mind.
So much going on. So we'll switch before we go back to our pick'ems. The NBA is supposedly voting today, or had voted, but there's going to be a start possibly December 22nd. Of course, we know they want to do it for Christmas week and have all the big sponsorships and play and money that comes with it. So it's a shortened season again, 72 games. It's going to be a whole new season this year. A whole new group of guys that are now not injured or now not in a bubble. I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out, because unlike even with football, at least you still have some kind of mask, you still have some kind of protection on your body. The sweat, the whatever during basketball, that should be interesting to see when it's not in a bubble setting. Hopefully the NBA and Mr. Adam Silver have a plan for that.
All it takes is one COVID case and then that thing gets shut down. We bubble it again.
Right.
And so that's where we're hanging on a thread of knowing. We know the rationale of having them start in December, which is a money thing because of the networks and the advertising and everything that is prepaid for each season. So they know how much they could stand to lose financially by not starting on their regular time. However, we are in 2020 with a pandemic. We don't know the outcome. I can't predict what this season is going to look like because we don't know if we're going to have a season. And I think that's first and foremost as we hit these winter months with the numbers climbing and everything like that. We just don't know. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great thing to vote on if the guys can get it approved to go back to the MLK weekend that they propose. That would be nice, but it's just not realistic. And I even think starting is possibly not realistic with everything that's going on. So we just have to play a waiting game and see actually what happens.
Yeah. Sean thought that the should have started on Christmas. I feel like they probably, because here's the deal, Christmas only has
early things.
Christmas usually only has like 2, maybe 3 games. I'm curious to know if we're going to have like a whole day full of games now, because with it starting so late, even if it's the 22nd, they're going to need to have extra games being played other than just on Christmas Day.
Yeah, they have to play though. If they start on the 22nd, then that means it's either a 2 or 3 game week. Or two or 3, games scheduled that week.
Christmas. It could be
there could be 4.
Whole NBA Christmas Day, Christmas Eve.
Hey, and I'll go for it. But you always have your top market teams playing on Christmas Day. So Lakers play and you have Golden State playing. So it's always one of those things on those Christmas games. You just don't. And again, we don't know. This is just what we're chatting about. But
we don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know. We're just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then funny that the Warriors have a new jersey lined up, which
I
says
like it.
Oakland over it.
Yeah, but
they
you
don't
know the reason behind that. But do
No,
you know the
tell me.
reason behind that? So basically,
Give
it's
it.
Oakland. It's not Oakland. It's Oakland forever. That has been their mantra for the
Oh,
whole
okay.
time.
Gotcha.
From the time that they started out there in Oakland, it's
Right.
those city unis that they have. It's an updated version of the
Right.
unis. It actually resembles unis from back in
Yeah,
the
it's
day
the
when they
old
were
colors.
Oakland. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a commemorative style
Okay.
jersey to represent for Oakland. They're always going to be Oakland, is what the message is reading with the new arena. So I
That
like
makes
them. I think they're pretty tight.
yeah.
I think they're fire. I think Steph Curry and his pose in it,
Yeah.
kind of wanted to give a little of that
Look good.
this face of Mac Dre. Shout out to the late Mac Dre.
Right. Shout out
Um,
to Bay
but
Area.
you have, hey, I have no problem with it. Oakland forever. I'm with that because
Now I
that's in their
understand. I didn't
hearts.
know. I was just like
Yeah,
Oakland.
that's
Like, why
what
would
the
you now
yeah.
have Oakland on there? It doesn't make any
I
sense.
mean, they're always going to be Oakland, and that's what fans say to this day. So might as well keep it rolling. That was the best marketing thing they could have done to get those
To
jerseys
sell
is
some
Oakland
jerseys
forever.
sold because
Absolutely,
Oakland as a city
absolutely.
is not happy. Their Raiders are gone. Their Warriors are
Yeah.
moved.
All they got
The
is the A's
Athletics,
out there.
the A's are going to be next. They're not trying to stay there either. They don't got their stadium is as old as
Right. Alameda's
UNLV.
a mess. I mean, they're right by that bloody airport and everything else. And I mean, hey, Oakland forever. It's a great message for them. It's a great message and soothes the hearts of those in the city because now they really have to go into the city to see these games. So
Right.
that's a great. Hey, I can't knock it. Like I said, they're fire. They're tight. I'm all about it. I probably want to cop me one to be quite honest with you. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not a Golden State fan, but those jerseys, the colorways on them, it's pretty nice.
Well, Sean wasn't feeling it. He
He said
said,
they were garbage in his opinion.
It's
Guess
okay.
what, Sean?
Everybody has their opinion, and it's okay. That's what
It's
happens.
it's all right because
Yeah.
guess what? I'm gonna get you one anyway, and I guarantee you'll wear it. No, I'm just kidding.
But speaking of garbage stadiums, so UNLV this year got to move over to a brand new stadium at Allegiant Stadium, our UNLV Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought maybe that could bring a change to the team, right? Well,
Yeah.
not so much.
Again, they've had their struggles with COVID cases too on the team. They've had some different things come up. I'm not gonna not Arroyo. I'm not gonna knock him or anything. This is just game one. We typically have a pattern of giving the cannon back to the north on opposite years. It goes back and forth. Last year we got the cannon. This year they get the cannon. I mean, I'm chucking it up to 2020. It's fine. I mean, they only had less amount of fans that were expected. Now, originally the Legion had said it's going to be 10% of the fans. It was only 2,500. That doesn't make much for crowds to get enough noise to get these guys going, especially in Vegas. Sadly, maybe I think they should have opened it up to the 10%. You can't just have 2,000 fans and a few students.
And
It's just not a good vibe.
they were all like boosters and
Yeah,
probably
boosters and all that, and the
ticket
tickets went
holders
like
for
that
like
in an
20
hour. Like,
years,
come on, like the
Yeah.
tickets went like that in an hour, and you got to
But
count
it
with
would
the
have been
2,000.
nice just to be there, that's for sure. And shout out to
Absolutely,
Mike
and
Dixon. Mike Dixon was there covering for
oh yeah,
Vegas
he sure was.
Daily.
He had great pics
So
of that. Yeah,
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 yeah.
he sure did.
So we'll see if they actually can make any changes. But as of right
Yeah, who
now,
are
they
they up to
are big.
playing?
Huh?
Who are they playing next? It's a away game for them, but who are they playing
Yeah,
next? I'm not
sure.
sure. Yeah. They'll find their groove. I'm not going to write them off too much, but there's a lot of factors into that whole organization.
Rick needs to join our podcast because now he says that UNLV is moving to Oakland.
Are they playing in? Oh, the breaking news just came through over my phone, and I didn't tap it. But let me just go in and see real quick. I'm sorry, I had to fade to black real quick.
Oh, the NBA is starting on the
22nd. Yep. So they're going to start on the 22nd. We knew this was probably going to happen because again, the dollars and cents. It's just what it is.
Right.
And I look forward to it. I welcome it. Shoot, get my Christmas. I'm going to have to make my Christmas gumbo this year and sit in front of the TV and try to watch these games. Yeah. Now, bring it on. I'm ready. It sucks, though, that the Lakers have to celebrate their championship shortened season till we get another championship series.
Yeah,
but
so when are they going to have a parade? I mean, for the Dodgers Lakers combo, possibly.
Man, they've been talking about a Laker Dodger combo, but right now it's not. It's up in the air. It's a pending thing. I mean, I feel like the parade has happened. When the Dodgers won, we had guys out there doing donuts, messing up their cars. You had just too many people at Staples Center the night the Lakers won. So it would be very nice to be there and have a parade and see that, but it's just not the right time. And I don't know when that will be. Hopefully next year.
It really isn't. It's not
Yeah.
time. So we'll see. Hopefully it happens.
But we've all popped our champagne. I've bragged about my Lakers. I bragged about my
Did you
Dodgers.
finally open up your champagne?
Oh yeah, I popped that over the weekend. Yeah, I was ready. Yeah, I celebrated it. So,
Well,
yeah, I got it. Thank you, Amy, for my champagne. Knew what to do. Knew what to do.
and let's get into our picks. Before we start, there was a girl power moment. I
Okay.
know that the Women K sisters had volunteered in Houston for the polls. So the LA Sparks, Chinny, and I don't even, is it Nika? NECA?
Yeah. Yeah.
They both volunteered
Mhm.
in Houston for their election. So I think that's
Yeah,
great. I
that's
think
great. It's commendable.
21 that can be there to be part of it. I know me and one of my old coworkers, we helped out on Tuesday with helping bring ballots into the election warehouse. No, we don't count them. People were saw my post like, why aren't you there counting them? Well, that wasn't part of our job to do that.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
everybody gets their own part and we do what we can. So
Yeah.
hey,
And it's a very important part. So I commend
yeah,
you for doing that and your coworker and these ladies too. So girl power to all of you. Let's just give it to
yes,
you all.
yes.
Yes.
Let's see. So last week you won because out of all the ones we didn't pick the same, we went 3-0. So
How did
congratulations.
Harry do? Shout out to Harry Ruiz, who was our guest last week.
Harry did this. Harry did the same as you because he, I think, well, no, Harry probably had two right out of all the ones we
Oh,
didn't pick
okay.
the same because he had picked the Lions like I did and the Colts had won.
Yeah. That was, man.
Yeah. And we all had picked the Chargers and Denver won.
I know. That was the upset I was thinking of, was the Denver Chargers game. I was not expecting them to do that. I was so mad.
I
That
would.
game was like a nail biter too. That was kind of going back and forth. That had me upset.
So as of right now,
Yeah.
me and you are tied 3-3-1
Okay.
for the
Okay.
Pick'ems season. We are going on to week 9. Okay.
Yes. Let's go.
Unfortunately, I know we both would have picked Green Bay for tonight, but they're playing, so whatever.
Yeah.
So first game's up. So the Giants at Washington. Now, if the Giants come playing like they did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'd take the Giants. However, they are in Washington, and I'm still not sure what I think of this team yet.
I don't either. The verdict's out on the Washington team. I'm going to roll with the Giants, especially with the new acquisition of the player that they're getting. We just got to see what they can do. I always do it I just want to do it out of curiosity. So I'm going to take the Giants on this one.
I'm going to go with the Giants only because I'm going based off of their performance against Tampa.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Another good one, possibly defense-wise, who knows? Chicago at Tennessee. Chicago's
I'm rolling with
defense
the Titans.
but I don't know.
Nick Foles. I'm rolling with the Titans on this. I think this is where the tide turns and the Bears start to lose. They get always to this point, and it starts to be a rippling effect. So I'm going to go against them this week.
Well, and you really can't go wrong.
Tennessee. No, and you got Derrick Henry out there.
Derrick
No, I'm going to go with Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
All right, me too. Okay, Lions at Minnesota. Dalvin Cook went off, but we know that the Vikings are a hit or miss team, it seems like.
Yeah, and I think this Sunday is going to be their
away,
miss.
and so now it's at home.
Well, I think this is going to be their miss week because I can't count the Lions out on but the Lions are trash too. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be nice and say the Vikings. I'm gonna be kind. I'll be kind and say the Vikings. My heart is kind of within my sixth sense is telling me Detroit on this one, but I'm gonna roll with the I'm gonna roll with them. I'm gonna
go with the Lions just so we can have a little
have opposite. Yeah, just to see. It'll make the game interesting.
Right. Carolina at Kansas City. I know Carolina's been doing good, but not at Arrowhead.
Yeah, but not Arrowhead. They're not gonna do that with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy out there and Pat Mahomes. So we're gonna roll with Kansas.
Here's one. Houston at Jacksonville. Now, what's happened to Houston? We haven't heard Deshaun Watson's name, but zero time.
What has happened to them? Natasha, if you're still watching, please explain because you've been quiet.
We need her back on to discuss.
Yeah, she's been quiet too with the Texans. I've seen no posts from her about her Texans. So I think they are just about to pull up to a riverbank too in a few. But neither here nor there. It's a good game this week.
I'm gonna
Jacksonville,
go with Jacksonville just because I still got Minshew, but that's
I know. And see, I haven't picked Jacksonville this whole time and been right
right.
about Jacksonville. So I'm not going to break my tempo on that. I'm
Okay.
actually going to be nice and vote for the Texans and see if the
Okay.
Texans can actually do something this
All
week.
right. No, that works. That works. Baltimore, Indianapolis.
Is
I'm
Lamar
gonna
Jackson
go.
a one trick pony? Has everybody figured out his game?
What
What
is
is
going
going on
on
with
with
this
Lamar?
guy?
Here's the
Like, I
deal.
feel
But
like what
is
is going on?
Des Bryant playing this weekend?
Good question.
Not to say that Des Bryant is great. I mean,
Right.
he's a few years out the league, but he
Right.
still gives that option for a Lamar Jackson to toss to, which maybe
Yeah. I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna trust in Lamar. I'll go with the Ravens. It's just a shaky pick. I'll just say it at that because they figured this team out and they figured their offense out really well. And if he can't
and
go
they're coming
long
off
and
a
throw
loss to
verticals,
the Steelers and having to go away again.
yeah. So this could be a revenge game. I just don't count those Colts show up on any given Sunday and just do
I'm gonna
work. And
go
I
with
never
the
guess.
Colts.
Yeah, go with
Play
them.
it that
That's what
way.
they do.
Seattle at Buffalo. I'm going.
Well, here. I know you're going with your team. Yeah. I actually on my pick'ems, and I'm just gonna stick with it and ride the wave. I picked Buffalo because
Oh,
they're just a shocker at times. Realistically, I would say yes, Seahawks because but we're going to the East Coast. We're doing a different change of weather. We're doing a whole little
but
different
Jamal
area.
Adams is back.
Oh, but is he going to? Let's see how he does. I'm still
But
gonna go with Buffalo. I'm still gonna go with them. I just want to see what their defense can do with Jamal Adams. I just want to see.
understandable. But I know that not only is he going to be back, but I know one of the guys the guy from Cincinnati that we traded for, he's going to be playing, I believe, too. It sounds like Carlos Dunlap.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's going to be
And are
interesting.
they playing? They're not playing on limited time, right? They're
Okay,
actually going to play a full.
Rick, it might be Rick's time to go because now he's
What did he
talking about
say?
my team.
Seahawks are beat up. Ooh, those are fighting words.
No,
No
Rick,
running backs.
we haven't had a running back into the postseason last year. Okay. But I do believe that one of them, I believe it's either Carson or Hyde that is able to come back this
Oh,
weekend.
Chris Carson is coming back?
One of them is able to, I can't remember which one, because they've both been injured. But look
Right.
at DJ Dallas did fine last week. We still have Travis Homer. Here's the deal. Rashad Penny has been gone since last year, and we still haven't seen him play this year alone. He's still one of our running backs, too. So we have we're actually on our fourth string right now. It's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
Then we got Denver and Atlanta.
Yeah, I played Chris Carson last year in fantasy.
Well, he
and I
should
said
be on
never
your
again. He should
IR
be
is
on
where
your
he should
IRs.
be.
Yeah. He really should. Yeah, while you rack up losses, a
Maybe he
doggone
doesn't have
shame.
an IR position. Some people
Yeah.
aren't that nice.
Yeah.
Denver and Atlanta. I'm going to go with Atlanta just because Julio's been giving me some points, and they're in Atlanta. So
I thought I'd never pick Atlanta again, and I hate that I'm in this position to pick an AFC West team, but I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos.
ooh, you heard that.
I vowed I'd never pick Atlanta ever again. Even if they win, I'll just take the L on that. I don't even care. I've just vowed I'd never pick Atlanta again because they've done so badly this season, and they've always brought me upset. So
right. Raiders at the Chargers. I think we're both going to go with the Raiders.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go with those Raiders. Raider Nation, stand up.
I don't even know why this game is getting played. Just consider it a forfeit. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Dallas Cowboys.
They should really just cease on.
I mean, the Steelers might as well put in their second stringer practice squad because it really is just.
They're not going to do that. Let's just keep it rolling and they go to 8-0. Like, let's just keep the undefeated record going. It's big ups to Mike Tomlin being the second African American most winningest coach. Passing Tony Dungy. It's phenomenal. I'm rolling with the Steelers. Obviously, I would roll with the Steelers if it wasn't this van situation. But
the van down my Jerry's house.
Yeah. The van on his huge acre property that over by the stables where the horses are that no one ever really goes. They check on the stable horses, but they don't check on the van. The van inadvertently is just parked and looking dilapidated. But you got them living over there. Isn't that some stuff? That's terrible, honey. Couldn't even get an Airbnb, Jerry.
Here's a good matchup that I am looking forward to. We've got Miami and Tua at Phoenix and Kyle Murray. So it's a battle.
Now, how phenomenal was Tua last
give it up to Tua.
And that was a big upset because I did not pick Miami to win this game.
Mm-mm.
And did you see what Fitzy wrote
None
on
of us
his?
did, including Harry. Shout
Yeah.
out to Harry Ruiz, our guest last week. We
Did you
all think
see? Did you see what Fitzpatrick said on his Twitter about it?
that
Ryan
he was
Fitzpatrick.
hurt.
No, he
Oh,
says you got this young guy. He's stellar. He's doing all the things, and I just this man with this beard. I mean, I could go on and on, but the guy is great. In a nutshell, I'm paraphrasing what he said,
good
but
for
the
him.
beard part was cute.
You
But
know,
he gave him his props, and well deserved. I mean, he had a really great game.
I was having a phone call with Kaz the other day. Remember our previous guest, Kaz
Mm-hmm.
Harlow, so Harlow's World. We were talking yesterday about just the way Fitzpatrick is. Like, that's just the guy he is. That's the reason why he continues to get picked up by teams, because not only is he a leader, but he's a supporter. He just got shafted and stabbed in the back of his back not only a week or two ago, but now he's back on congratulating and making the best of it. Like, that's just has been his role the entire time in the league, pretty much.
That makes him an all-time dude for doing that. It's very highly commendable. It does make it a tricky situation when it comes to this pick between he and Kyler Murray. But I'm gonna roll Arizona. They're at home, so we'll roll with it. I'll just go. Sorry, Mike Dixon. Your team is doing pretty well. I mean, you got the same stats and numbers as the Raiders do as far as wins and losses.
I'm going to go with
But
Miami just because they're divisional. I would love for them to lose at home. So, but Kyler's been doing great. The Cardinals
yeah.
have been doing good.
Now, is this game at home or away for Miami?
It's away from Miami.
Oh, that's what I thought.
It's
Okay.
home for Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are divisional.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a big one. Another one. Saints versus Tom Brady. Here's the deal. Will these guys break the record back and forth throughout the game?
No. Because
I mean,
Drew Brees hasn't been Drew Brees.
But they keep chasing it back. But Drew Brees has been Drew Brees. But this could be the game, of course. It's Sunday Night Football.
Antonio Brown is coming back. Antonio Brown is coming back. This is his debut. I'm going with Tampa Bay. Regardless of his performance, it's Antonio Brown. I'm sorry. I'm going to roll with Tampa Bay.
Are you now?
Yeah. You might have to go on that same side with me. And Saints,
I think I am going to go only because it's in Tampa.
That and then AB. And
I'm curious to see the Antonio Brown situation.
Me too. And Saints, I love Who Dat Nation. Shout out to all my Who Dat people. I'm
how
a
it
Who Dat
affects.
girl, but I have to be realistic.
Well, and it's how it affects. Mike Evans had mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, he knows that what his place is. I mean, he's not the number one, number two.
Oh, he's not going to rock this boat. He's living with Tom Brady in his house and stuff. He's not going to mess up the church's money. He's definitely going to show up and do what he's.
I wonder how Giselle likes that, or is she even living?
I mean, they got a big enough house. It's probably on one of the wings of the house.
He's in the guest house.
He's probably in a mansion that's another 10,000 square feet next to their 15,000 square feet. I mean, come on. But he's on the man's property, so you're not going to mess up the church's money by acting a fool. So you're going to definitely show up and play. Yeah, Tim AB, exactly, Rick. I'm telling you, that's the squad now. I hate to say it, but that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be a good dogfight. Hopefully, if Drew Brees and company can show up and Drew Brees can have a better performance than he's had in previous weeks. But grass versus turf, yeah. Hey, that always plays a factor. I'm not even going to front. We know this. So.
And then here's one that actually may pan out to be a good one, even though probably at the beginning of the season we thought it wouldn't be. We've got the Patriots at the Jets. Cam has been MIA. New England, and I think Bill finally succumbed to it and was like, we're not the same team.
At least he's willing to admit that.
Yeah.
You have to eat humble pie sometimes and know that
do.
Your difference maker was your quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, Rick, I may have to roll with those Jets too. I don't think Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. I just think he's been handed a lot of misfortune with the organization.
Team.
It's he's just been handed
everybody
a lot
keeps
of
jumping
misfortune.
ship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to go with New England because you're going to go with the Jets. We'll just leave it that way for all intents purposes. But yeah, so that's going to be week 9.
And shout out to Cincinnati Bengals.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrows is nice, and he has nobody he's playing. Like his whole line is a bunch of nobodies. I mean, Joe Mixon is out, so he doesn't even have his starting running back.
But Boyd has been playing well.
Yeah, he's been playing very well too. But man, I gotta get Cincinnati. They're on a bye week this week. Shout out to all the teams on byes. Cleveland had to take a bye after our little debacle. Cincinnati's on their bye. So I mean, he's amazing. I'm a fan of Joe Burrows. I like him. I think he's nice. He's from LSU. Shout out to the South. I just think he's just that guy. He really is.
Oh man. Oh, Rick, AJ Green's in Miami. Did you say AJ Green? I didn't hear you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but that's our show for today, for Thursday, the election break
Oh, maybe he
show.
meant AG instead of AB, but we know it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what he meant. AG Green. Sorry.
AJ Green. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he used to play for Cincinnati, but
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
um, that's our show for tonight.
It is. Had a good time.
Hopefully, by this time next week, we'll be cheering for the blue side, and all will be right in the world. Also, next Wednesday is Veterans Day, so make sure you hug a veteran, give shout outs to your veterans, love your veterans because they help protect us and give us our freedom.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Thank you
Yes,
to all
they
veterans.
do.
We'll have a special little show for you guys next Wednesday. So make sure you tune in and don't forget, like, subscribe, share.
Tell a friend. Tell a
Thank you,
friend. Let
Rick.
the word go
Rick, thank
far.
you.
And Rick, thank you so much for chatting and joining us because this
And
is
why?
what makes our
I'm
show so
sorry.
fun and
Can we
engaging.
just pause for 1 second? Why are Jorge and Andre just joining in now, an hour and 5 minutes into it?
I don't see what you're talking about right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh.
I don't know what you're talking about. The show is over, so I don't know any other commentary except the loyal people that came on, like Rick
Thank you.
and those that
Thank
checked in. So
you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody that's checked
But
in.
I will say to this, I will say hi to them, and I appreciate the love that they've constantly given us. But you can't come in our show when we're about to tap out. And yes, big ups to Rafael Nadal. I know that's your guy. Kudos to him. And you said you told Jorge, but he didn't. I believe
No, he
that because
didn't.
Jorge don't be listening.
I
Jorge
don't
always
know.
wants to jump
I
in.
don't
And he
think
don't want to be
so.
listening. But I appreciate it, Jorge, for tapping into us because I know you guys are home and watching it on your TV on the YouTube channel. But please do me a favor and tell a friend. Tell a
Yeah.
friend. And a
Share
big
it.
shout out to my boy Brendan. It's his birthday
His birthday.
today.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Brendan.
birthday, Brendy. We love you.
Yes.
And I hope that you were able to celebrate in some kind of way your day.
COVID
And
fashion.
if not, we will definitely try and celebrate again with you. But we celebrate you today. So happy birthday. Happy birthday to Scorpio season that's out there. To all of you guys. And yeah, it's just peace and love at this point. And you guys stay tuned for next week because we're going to
We'll
have
wait
a
for the
show.
counting. We'll wait for the counting. All
We're
right, you
waiting for the
guys,
counting.
have a great time. We will catch y'all later.
Peace with the 2 fingers. And we outro.